Well, here comes Wilyer Abreu. Wilyer is 1 for 4 tonight. Got a man at every base, 2 down.
Driven high into right field. This thing is back. It is out of here. A slam for Abreu.
From MLB.com, this is the Morning Lineup Podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Castrovin. Today is Tuesday, July 1st, and on today's show, with glowing hearts, we see the Blue Jays rise in the AL East standings as Canada Day dawns. We'll also tell you about the Red Sox player who pulled a Roger Maris. No, not with 61 home runs, but a different way. All that and everything else you need to know about baseball today in about 10 minutes or less. Let's get to it. Now that it's July, we can officially say the MLB trade deadline is this month. But you don't have to wait until July 31st to execute a deal. Just ask the Boston Red Sox. You might remember the Red Sox traded their best hitter in Rafael Devers last month. In the first 12 games after making that deal, they went 4-8 with their Devers-less lineup producing the highest strikeout rate in the American League and the 4th lowest average in MLB. So the Red Sox are in need of a jolt. They might get one sooner than expected in the form of star third baseman Alex Bregman, who resumed full baseball activities Monday after suffering a right quad strain May 23rd. He told reporters he could possibly return before the All-Star break. But of course, Boston needs all the wins it can get right now. And on Monday night, it got one thanks in part to one of the more sensational individual offensive performances of the season. In fact, it was something we had not seen in 67 years. First, the Red Sox chased Chase, as in Chase Burns. The Reds rookie had struck out the first 5 Yankees he faced in his MLB debut last week. But at Fenway, it was a different story.
That one driven to center field deep. Friedel's racing back, turning around. She's gone! Trevor Story with a 3-run blast to center.
Trevor Story's 3-run blast was part of a 7-run eruption that knocked Burns out of a game in which he only recorded 1 out. But it turns out the Red Sox were just getting started, and the offensive hero of the evening had not even gotten started. In the bottom of the 5th, after the Reds had cut the score to 7-4, Wilyer Abreu gave Boston some huffing, puffing, hustling insurance.
High drive, way back there toward the triangle. Friedel racing back, and that one is going to be off the wall. That's going to keep on rolling on the warning track. Here comes Wilyer rounding third. He's trying to score. Looking for an inside to Parker. He dives in with an inside the park home run.
Abreu's 423-foot inside the park homer was Boston's first since 2018. But the Red Sox right fielder wasn't done. In the 8th, he put this game on ice and put himself into some unusual company when he batted with the bases loaded, and this time decided to prevent all that running by just hitting the ball over the wall.
Swinging a high fly ball. He got underneath this one. A drive to right, and that ball is gone. A grand slam. What a night for Wilyer.
According to the Elias Sports Bureau, in the 13-6 win, Abreu became just the 6th player ever and the first in 67 years to hit an inside-the-park home run and a separate grand slam in a single game, joining Roger Maris in 1958, Jim Tabor in 1939, Charlie Gehringer in 1930, Everett Scott in 1923, and Jocko Fields in 1890. Yeah, that's right. I said Jocko Fields. Is he available at the trade deadline? Elsewhere in the AL East, today is Canada Day, commemorating the anniversary of the 1867 establishment of the Dominion of Canada as a self-governing entity. It's a day for Canadians to be proud, to celebrate their culture and independence and people. And baseball team? Well, sure, why not? Because this year, Canada Day just so happens to fall in the midst of a 4-game series at Rogers Center between the surging Blue Jays and the struggling Yankees. And if things go really, really well for the Jays this week, they could overtake the Yanks for the top spot in the American League East, establishing some independence of their own. On Monday night, the Blue Jays got started on that goal by mounting a mid-game comeback. It was 3-1 Yankees entering the bottom of the 6th, but a Davis Schneider leadoff double chased Yankee starter Carlos Rodon from the game. And from there, Toronto was relentless while the Yankees fell apart. There were singles from Miles Straw, Nathan Lucas, and Ernie Clement, a throwing error by shortstop Anthony Volpe, a wild pitch by Mark Leiter Jr., and a catcher's interference called on J.C. Escarra. It all added up to the Blue Jays tying the tilt at 3 for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. when he batted with the bases loaded.
Swing and a rope through Jazz Chisholm into left field. In to score Lucas. Clement right behind him. He'll score a 2-run base hit for Guerrero.
That 115.7 mile per hour grounder from the Jays' $500 million man shot under Jazz Chisholm Jr.'s glove and had Rogers Center rocking with the Jays in front 5-3. Cody Bellinger kept everybody on edge when he went deep with a solo shot in the 8th to make it a 1-run game, but when Bellinger came to bat with 2 out and 1 on in the 9th, closer Jeff Hoffman kept him in the yard.
And again the 0-2, and it's hit high in the air to right, but not deep at all. Nathan Lucas is there, and the Blue Jays win this ballgame.
A game that gave off tense October vibes went to the Blue Jays 5-4 as they pulled within 2 games of the Yankees in the increasingly interesting AL East race. Toronto will hope to keep the celebration going here on Canada Day with a 3:07 Eastern Time matinee you can catch on MLB Network and MLB.tv. Coming up, the Buccos blowout bonanza continued and conjured up some distant memories. That's after the break. Exactly 100 years ago, the Pittsburgh Pirates fielded a World Series championship team that featured 3 future Hall of Famers in the lineup in Max Carey, Kiki Kyler, and Pie Traynor. Nobody, and I mean nobody, is going to confuse this year's Pirates with that year's Pirates. For one, this year's Pirates, unlike the 1925 Pirates, don't have a backup catcher named Johnny Gooch, which is a real shame. But more to the point, this year's Pirates have the 5th fewest runs in MLB and don't look like a World Series contender. But the Pirates have now done something not done by a Pittsburgh club since 1925. On Monday night at PNC Park against the red-hot Cardinals, Andrew Heaney was on the hill for a Buccos ball club riding a 3-game winning streak, and he set the tone.
Savvy Pirate fans recognizing Andrew Heaney.
Well, not just Pirate fans. I'm looking down and there's a lot of Cardinals fans that are giving him a round of applause for his nice job.
Heaney took a no-hitter into the 6th and was backed by 6 fifth-inning runs from the Bucco bats on a night in which every player in the Pirates lineup had a hit. The Pirates won 7-0. It was their 4th straight game in which they blew out their opponent by at least 7 runs, something last seen in Pittsburgh when Johnny Gooch and the boys roamed the earth. Elsewhere in MLB and the state of Pennsylvania, after dealing with right wrist inflammation, Bryce Harper was back in the Phillies lineup for the first time since June 5th. He went 0 for 2 with a walk against the Padres. Meanwhile, staff ace Zach Wheeler threw 8 scoreless innings as the Phillies overcame a fantastic homer-robbing catch from Jackson Merrill and beat San Diego 4-0 in the series opener at Citizens Bank Park. Wheeler had an incredible 0.58 ERA in 5 June starts. Stop me if you've heard this one, but the big dumper dumped one over the wall.
Deep out to right center field. Does he get enough of it? Yes! Number 33, Cal Raleigh.
Cal Raleigh's major league leading 33rd home run aided the Mariners' 6-2 home win over the Royals. In a wild one between the Rangers and Orioles in Texas, Gunnar Henderson and Colton Cowser both went deep to give the O's the upper hand in the top of the 10th before Adolis Garcia knotted it back up with a towering 3-run homer in the bottom of the 10th. But with a 4-run 11th, the Orioles outlasted the Rangers in a 10-6 victory. Lawrence Butler's go-ahead 2-run triple sent the A's to a 6-4 win over the Rays. And Lourdes Gurriel Jr. and Eugenio Suarez both went deep in the D-backs' 4-2 win over the Giants. Seattle's switch pitcher Jurangelo Sanja was among 9 first-round picks from last year's draft selected for the All-Star Futures game at Atlanta's Truist Park on July 12th. You can check out the full Futures game rosters at MLB.com. That's all for today's morning lineup. Tonight, be sure to check out Jacob deGrom's second start against the Orioles in the past week. Last week in Baltimore, deGrom came within 6 outs of his first career no-hitter. Will he pitch another gem in Globe Life Field? Tune in at 8:05 Eastern Time, 7:05 local to find out. The MLB.tv free game of the day pits the Dodgers against the visiting White Sox at 10:10 Eastern, 7:10 local. Matt Monaghan will be back with you tomorrow to discuss all that and more. Until then, thanks for listening. Please leave us a rating and review. Share this episode with the baseball lovers in your life, and have a great day, everyone.